What's poppin', everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Appropriate as Fuck.
As
I
fuck.
am your host, E. And
Always and forever.
yes, what's going on? This camera is on deck. I see you. I see
We coming here slowly but surely, folks. We appreciate y'all coming with us through all the growing pains, but we gonna be official up in here.
you. Yeah, you trying to eat down today? Okay. Well, what's up with you? How's everything going?
Everything is well. Everything is well. I had a funny week. Found out I was for y'all who don't know, I've been in conjunction with, doing things like this podcast and, daily life. I've also been on a little bit of a spiritual journey, growing in my faith and my studies of the word, things like that. And I just recently found out that for like the last 2 months I've been actually going through a um a soft conversion into a cult, a Korean cult.
What?
Yeah, I mean, naive, nice guy self, thinking I'm just going through a regular Bible study. Turns out I was actually being, um, uh, not prodded, but whatever the word is, like introduced for a Korean Christian cult called
Oh my.
Shinchuanji, something like that.
Wait, so how did you get involved with this cult?
I had a friend that invited me, sweet girl. But they are, yeah, a small sect that believe of 144,000 humans on Earth will live forever in eternity in um this new heaven on Earth, led by the second coming of Jesus, who is apparently this Korean guy named Min Lee Koo, something like that. I don't know. Once I figured out Korean Jesus and and just when I Googled the name, I was like, okay, thanks, but no thanks. Oh, wait, guys, did we lose E? Let's see. We might have lost E, but I will humor you guys. Yeah, it's a Shincheonji, Church of Jesus, a new religious movement established in South Korea by Lee Man-hee, considered a pseudo-religion or a cult by mainstream churches. Um, The group calls itself a religious organization based on the teachings of the Bible. They call themselves a non-denominational group. Its members believe that Jesus' return is imminent, and only that those who have heard the word of Shincheonji, particularly in the understanding of the parables and things, passed down from God by his messenger, who is Lee Man-hee, will be saved. So, interesting segue from what I thought was just a normal, friendly Bible study. Um, so you gotta watch out, folks. What you're getting into apparently is popular amongst various different places: Australia, Africa, America, and Korea, most prominently. Which I feel like they already have 144,000 or more members, so I don't know who else is getting saved by their doctrine. But, what do you know? What do you know? Welcome back.
I'm so sorry. It's the cult fault. When you start talking about the damn cult, crash the damn platform. My bad.
It's all good. I kept them as entertained as
The
possible.
Lord said no. We will not. But that cult kind of sounds like a combination of Jehovah Witness beliefs and whatever else, because they kind of have a
Yeah,
similar.
it was kind of giving Latter-day Saints or something like that.
That's
Um,
wild. So
yeah.
you've been like regularly attending like services and stuff.
No, not services. This has been like a one-on-one Bible study, with initial introduction. Invited me to a broader Zoom meeting, which I guess takes you through the more lengthy course, which is like a couple of months or something like that. Which I was already kind of on the fence of. If I don't like school, I ain't about to be doing no more Zoom, nothing. than I already am.
Uh,
My friend who initially introduced it to me finally spilled the beans on the name after I was calling them 7-Day Adventists, and they was like, "Oh, no, no, no." Like, "Well, what are you then?" And they were like, "Oh, we should Chunji." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
mm,
It's the
yeah, wow, that's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, like I was on YouTube, like searching up the like yeah, different people's testimonials. It's pretty popular apparently. Like they kind of study or s- uh stalk like pages for regular churches, Christian churches, and kind of introduce people and bring them in under the guise of just like, oh yeah, normal Bible study. And down the line, yeah, you're supposed to go to this course where it's going to be, essentially paraded as though everyone there is just like new, introduced to the teachings and, kind of everybody's first time. But in reality, probably like at least one or two of the people that you're going to be paired up with is actually going to be full-blown members who are masquerading as new followers. They'll be your handlers, and they'll like write reports on you and kind of build up a profile to sort of sell you on the belief system and eventually get you involved. Um, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
It's crazy out here,
that's
man.
wild. And you know what's crazy? Just to kind of talk about that briefly. When I was in college in I don't know what year that was, but some years ago, I took a history of world religions course. And this course kind of like made me one of those people that's like, have you ever seen Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull?
Yeah,
And you remember that part when the
classic.
lady is like, I need to see everything. And she's like holding the skull and she wants to know.
Uh,
Like, that class made me feel like that because it's like outside of the top three practicing religions of the world, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, so many other religions have similar stories and similar backgrounds with different characters. And it was just like, I was like blown away. I was like, I need to know what's true. Like, I need to know what's true. Like, it was really like putting me in a weird space. But I say
yeah.
all that to say, like, there's so many religions out here, homemade ones that are backed by like historical facts and stuff, and it's just like it's so many people that the religions can kind of like continue to do whatever they're gonna do because someone is gonna follow.
Yeah. No, for sure. It's crazy. But find value in your spiritual teachings wherever they may lie. And I wish the best to the Shincheonji group.
Yes,
And I probably won't be seeing them in their heaven on earth, but more power to them. I hope it's lit.
that's wild. Well, I didn't have a week as interesting as that. This is week 4 of my marathon training, and
Woo-woo.
yeah, nah. This is when they say you're gonna feel like you hate running. You don't want to get
Uh-huh.
up. You don't this all week. Like I even last week I just was like, man, am I even training anymore? Like what's going on? Like got to the gym, I'm on a treadmill, can't even do 2 miles. I'm like, what happened? What happened? I'm crashing out. I'm crazy. And then I'm like,
So you doing like a steady jog, or is it like sprinting, or like combination?
so I don't know if you remember a couple of episodes ago, I told you I'm like really slow. So it's really like my pace is kind of like it would technically be considered a brisk, super brisk walk to a trained runner. Like a 3.5 is what I was typically jog walking at. Um,
It's like 18 minutes a mile,
Somewhere
roughly
around there,
20.
yeah, 20-ish. So this week
Mhm.
I bumped it up to 4 miles per hour to put me at like a 15-minute mile. And that 5.5 increment has almost killed me. Like, I'm like, dang, I can't even, I'm struggling to get through 1 mile. Like, I got some new shoes, they lighter. Like, what's going on here? So, yeah, I got to get back on it this week. I'm training really hard. It's going to be a 6-day week, I mean, of training. And just got to push myself because I see now that if you take a little bit of time off, the progression is lost. And it's like,
Mhm.
not trying to do that. I also, like, I do a lot of DIY stuff. I don't know if you notice anything different about me, but normally I just, like when it comes to my hair, just kind of take a little off the top. Keep the little fro, curly fro.
Mhm.
Yesterday, I don't know what happened. I don't know if God was like, "It's time for you to let that go for now. You just need a fresh start or what." But I put the wrong guard on the clippers, so I went to go like clip my hair, And as you can see in this spot where I made like I faked it out like it's a part, but that's where I actually I was
That's a
like
thick half. Nah,
oh shit.
that's a parking space.
I had to try to slick it down, T. I was like, oh my God, what the freak? And I was like, I'm sitting there in the mirror, I'm cracking up though. I'm like, I can't believe I just did that. So now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to cut it all down. Cut it down, cut it down. All right. So here I am today. Like this is wild. And so something told me like somebody's gonna try to play off of this hair. Somebody's gonna approach you about this hair. I went to the grocery store
Mm.
today and I'm walking fast. I'm trying to get some stuff, I'm trying to get back home and cook meal prep for the week. I'm like, I need foil, I need honey, I need spray. Let me go. So I'm going through there like it's supermarket sweep. Going so fast, I almost run into this guy and he's like, oh, it's okay, go ahead. And he's like, excuse me, man. I'm like, yeah. He's like, who cuts your hair? This is a classic pickup line for any dude that's a barber. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Like,
is that
yeah,
right?
yeah. If they see a woman, A, maybe you really about your business and you like, oh, that's a potential client because A, you need some help. Or B, like, oh shoot, I'm gonna use this as a segue
Yeah,
to like talk. So it could be either one, it could go either way. But I'm like nobody because this is not intentional.
it's not a style.
Like I didn't do this on this was not on purpose. So he's like, oh yeah, give me the card, whatever. And he's like, oh yeah, well, maybe we can work out sometime. I'll take the card. I mean, I can tell he work out because I can see through his shirt like he work out. But I was just like,
Hey, don't sleep on them introductions, girl.
hey, who knows? I put the card on my refrigerator with a magnet, so we'll see what happens. But
Yeah, go ahead and get that free cut for the one
yeah,
time.
it's probably not gonna be free. The economy will not allow for it to be free. Nah. But yeah, so this is what I look like right now. And please feel free to roast me in the comments. I don't care. I'm just gonna laugh because it's funny. Like I can't believe this happened to me. Like what was going on? I mean, look at this. This is crazy. And the crazier thing is like I don't care. I'm just walking around like this, like whatever.
Oh yeah, ain't gonna take the confidence away, but
Yeah.
just make sure you clearly mark your clippers.
Man, please, y'all, if you're gonna do some DIY, please make sure I don't care if it's your nails, you got the toenail clipper, don't clip the nail too low. Don't try to pull the ingrown out if you don't know what you're doing, you don't rip your skin off. Like just if you're not equipped,
Proceed with caution.
save a couple of dollars and go get some help from someone who is. But anyway, so we got a lot of interesting stuff to talk about today. This week has been very, very interesting. A lot of cool things, a lot of crazy things have happened. So, first thing I want to get into, if you guys have not already talked about this in your homes, amongst your friends, have seen it on social media, we're going to talk about the allegations against Shannon Sharpe. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with Shannon Sharpe, I have a couple of facts here. I just want to go over really quickly so we can kind of get some background on who he is and, why it may be important to discuss this topic.
A little quick bio.
Yes. So, Shannon Sharpe actually graduated from the first college I went to, which I would have graduated from, but I left. Savannah State University. He's an alumni for Savannah State. So, shout out to Savannah State, SSU, all the alumni out there. This Savannah State.
Was he in a fraternity?
Huh?
Was he in a fraternity?
I feel like he was, and I feel like it was either Omega or Kappa, but I can't really. It's one of those two. I don't see him being an alpha, and I don't see him being a sigma or an iota. So I definitely think it had to be a kappa or a omega.
Nope,
No fraternity?
no
Oh
fraternity.
wow.
Nope,
Well, I would
never
say if
potential.
he were to be in one, it was gonna be between those two.
Yeah, yeah, he wasn't making alpha.
Oh,
Not with the man bags.
I don't know. The alphas be anyway. So, um, so yeah, he's an SSU alumni, a former NFL tight end. So that was his position in the NFL. Played for a few teams. Um, he's an NFL Hall of Famer. So he is in the Hall of Fame. Did some monumental things there. And 3-time Super Bowl champion. So he has 3 Super Bowl rings. He has his own successful podcast. If you haven't seen, I think it's called Club Shay Shay. Is that what it's? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
a good podcast. I ain't gonna hold you. Like the interviews be
Yep.
on point, like engaging. I'm sorry.
Most viewed episode in podcast history.
Right.
Cat Williams.
So I'm gonna circle back to that. He also works for ESPN as a commentator. He makes about 6.5 million doing it a year. And
Past tense.
past tense, yes. And last but not least, he's 56 years old, 56-year-old black male. All right. So that'll kind of tell you guys who he is. And to get into what's going on, so he is being sued by his former, I guess you would call it partner, girlfriend. They were in a relationship. Um, a young woman, 20-year-old young woman by the name of Gabby Zuniga. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right or not. But anyway, the two were involved with each other. They were in a relationship, and essentially, she is suing him for a couple of different things. So the allegations that are taking place. Oh wow, yeah. If y'all can see that,
Just so we can get some visual.
so, before I speak on the allegations, I want to talk about her. So she is 20 years old, as I mentioned. When they started their relationship, she was about 19 years old, and she is an OnlyFans content creator or model, whatever you want to label it as. Um, but yeah, this is kind of like the look. It's giving baddie, IG baddie. It's giving, plenty of clickbaits, and definitely probably got a big following on OnlyFans. I didn't really go in depth to her following count, but she one of those girls, like you see her.
Very, very, I don't know, mid. Like I mean, fine, like not, yeah, she's fine. Like, mid. Like, and anything we putting on booty shorts, like sure is gonna be popped up, but young white girl.
Yeah. So she and Shannon were involved, as I mentioned, and so now she is suing him.
She remind me of Zoe from House of Cards for some reason.
I don't think I ever watched House of Cards.
Yeah, but she's suing him for big money.
$50 million to be exact. And essentially the charges or the accusations that are against him are he was being violent in their relationship. So she's accused him of being violent, being threatening, so making threats towards her, recording their sexual encounters without her consent, and then sexual assault or rape, potentially. So just want to kind of touch on a couple of those things. So first of all, when a person comes out after they've been involved with someone and there's like a civil suit, there's a lot of eyebrows that get raised because it's like, why are you filing this suit against them? Why didn't you press charges? Why are you?
Which is a interesting distinction because she's not filing criminal charges. She's not looking to seek justice in the form of his arrest or him being prosecuted in the court of law.
Mhm.
It's purely a civil suit for a financial settlement
Correct.
request.
Correct. And I don't know if people understand like the way that looks when you have people coming out saying that they've been a victim of these types of things. It kind of shines a negative light on individuals who may actually have been victimized because it makes it look like you're just doing this for money. Not to say that your grievances aren't worth, any type of compensation if that's like like what you're looking for, but it just kind of lessens the, I guess, for lack of better words, the seriousness of how people will view the allegations. Um, so yeah, those things are, now based on like text messages that have been released and videos that have been released and phone call conversations, it's really hard to tell because in the one call she's like, "Yeah, something something something," and he's like, "You say it again, I'm gonna choke you." And it's like, I don't want to be choked. And it's like, yes, you do. And it's like, this sounds like a stupid ass conversation. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it's like, her sending messages saying, "I want you to put a big black baby in me," and him,
Very, very, very kinky cringe.
yeah, it's very cringe. And that's their sexual life, whatever. But it's just really a lot of interesting pieces here. So to the point of him being violent, threatening, I feel like, like in relationships, people, and this is, let me make this disclaimer. This is not a justification of anyone being verbally abused. not a justification of anyone being abused physically, emotionally, anything like that. But I'm just going to speak from a realistic standpoint. Um, People, depending on the person and how they are, can sometimes casually say things like, "Yeah, I wish you would do such and such. I'll slap you." Might not ever put a hand on the person that they with at all, but it's just like, what? You ain't gonna do nothing. Or um, I don't know, being aggressive during sexual encounters or just like, in whatever their day to day is. Some people actually live their life like that and their relationships are like that. Now I don't know what their interactions or encounters were, but
Feel like we'll find out soon
we will
enough.
find out soon enough. But the biggest thing here is, why in the hell was this 56-year-old man talking to a 19-year-old girl?
Sure you want to go this route, Chantra?
I'm going there. I'm going there on a lot of levels. So y'all get y'all popcorn, y'all tea, y'all candy, coffee, wine, whatever you drink, whatever you do. I don't know, but I'm finna go there because it's tired. All right. Now, we spoke about Shannon Sharpe having a successful podcast, the Club Shay Shay podcast. And in one of his prior episodes, he had our good girl Monique on the show. And, a lot of people, Monique catches a lot of flack for a lot of reasons. And, that's not what we're here to talk about because, Monique is Monique. But something that Monique said in that interview that stands out now that I know is probably biting Shannon in the ass is that he didn't need to talk to no young girl. And basically, she said, "You don't need no young girl, Shannon. You don't need no 26-year-old. You don't need no 36-year-old." And she just kind of goes on to discuss like the reasons why. And she didn't go in depth. She kind of made a joke out of it. Like, you need somebody older, that's gonna fix you some dinner and rub your feet, fix you some cognac so you feel good after a day of work, make you feel good about yourself. But now, coming back to this, it's like, damn, should I have listened to Monique when she told me I don't need no young girl? And let's talk about current day, because we'll start there. And I'm going to ask you your perspective as a young man. You can only give so much insight because of your age. But as a young man, and let me take a couple of steps back. You gave your analysis of this young lady's appearance. You said, okay, straight, mid, all right, you know what I'm saying? Nothing too compelling about her that would make me just crash out. Like nothing like, oh, I got to have her. Um, Out of all of the baddies, size, look, color, race, you picked this one. you you picked this one, and you picked her at this age, and so it's like, why are men of this status, because you would be considered one of the 1%, right? You are of this
For
status,
sure.
this color, you know what I'm saying? You already being demonized, and whatever the case. We just talked about the value of a black man last week, and you know, you already like kind of like in that space where it's like you got to move with caution because of who you are and what you have. And then you go choose to go fuck with this young girl. Like, what is the reason?
Now, granted, I will say I never pegged Shannon Sharp as the biggest, 8-0 supporter. Like I don't see him as far the the largest black and proud demographic. He a Hollywood nigga. If not by the appearance, by the perking of the lip, if not by he Hollywood as fuck.
That little
Um,
bag pissing me off.
I mean, picking Shawty, like I said, she's mid. Like she's not ugly, I'm sure, but it's definitely more so the lust for her. I think probably is more so tied to the mental state and their personal sexual dynamic.
Mhm.
Because on face value, of course, you can have anybody, you can pursue any general aesthetic of a woman, but once you have the intercourse and once you find that chemistry um and dynamic role, I think that's what's more so to reel you back in from time to time.
Mhm.
And she has something that he just liked, and based on their conversations, it was probably a little weird. um
Yeah,
and that probably
because
he probably played a factor into it.
2 years before y'all started dating, she was like a minor. And it's just like, I've dated a man that was older than me, so I'm gonna use my experience as an example, not speaking from just like, oh well, maybe possibly no, like I've been there, like literally involved with dealing with a man who was 20 years older than me, and um, I guess everyone's reason for doing these things is whatever their reason is. I just thought he was fine. You know what I'm saying? He looked good. I was like, oh, you that age and you look like that? Oh, you look good. I wasn't looking for no leadership from him. Ironically, I wasn't looking for a lot of things. I think the sexual relationship, like I liked him. I cared about him essentially. But, if I were to go back and ask like, well, why was he trying to talk to me? Because I wasn't gonna do like the wife things for him. I wasn't gonna I mean, I was kind of doing that stuff a little bit because it was the pandemic. So it was like, we don't have no choice. So we can't go out. We can't do stuff. I gotta kind of like be creative and do stuff at home, cook and do these things. But
Hmm.
I mean, and that's just not my personality either. Like I'm not finna like if I clean a dude's house, it's because I don't want to be in a nasty house, not because I'm doing it to cater to him. I don't want to lay down in your unmade bed. Move out of the way so I can be comfortable. Or your bathroom is dirty. Ew, I don't want to get in that shower. Let me clean this up a little bit. Not because like, oh my God, I love him so much. I want to kneel at his feet. In those instances. But me
Hmm.
dealing with him was like, I don't know, and vice versa. I don't really know like what was he looking for from me because I couldn't really provide anything. I couldn't offer you anything for real. And
I have a guess. I don't think it has to be outside of the obvious thing. It just has to be the obvious
that
thing.
that's the only thing. But it's like,
He coming for the cheeks.
but is there not any 40 and 50-year-old chicks out here?
Come on. Come on now. Let's not play ourselves. Sure, there are. However, there's something a little bit more arousing, unfortunately sad to say, but for many men about younger women's cheeks. And yeah, we've kind of heard this story, and it's been a long standing debate. I think ever since like the whole DiCaprio thing, where he's like, I don't date any girl over 25. It's been sort of a conversation of like, hey, is this something that's normal? Like, is this a moral ethic? Is this okay? If you ask the 19-year-olds who are going to these yacht parties and seeking out these older millionaires, to them, I'm sure they'll be like, hey, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
This is my God given right
Mm-hmm.
to get bust down by this 56-year-old Super Bowl champ.
Yeah.
Um, but as far as just a general demand for him is certainly risky, and for all men of that stature, it's very risky. And I mean, this is why I think like a lot of up and coming younger celebrities are more so leaning towards that just straight up pay for play model.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that's Lil Baby's quote. Like like yeah, if I want her, I'm get her, but she leaving with a bag. Future go send her off with an AP. So you can't never say there was nothing forced. We had an exchange. We had
Yeah.
a deal. Shannon Sharpe, I'm sure he blessed her with gifts and things like that, but unfortunately he just maintained just a private kinky relationship with no explicit transaction, and that's risky. Funny enough, that's riskier than if it was just blatant prostitution,
Mm. Yeah.
which is crazy.
Yeah. And I mean, let me give a little bit of background also because I don't want to just, oh well, why? So historically, back in the olden days, and I'm saying olden days because I don't know, I just want to say that. But um men would date younger women. Um well, let me before I get into that, some of the reasons online from different psychology sites that I found mention that some of the typical reasons that men current day will date younger women are to boost their ego and their self-esteem, to relive their youth in their younger days. So for some men, they find that dating these younger women makes them feel more alive. It makes them feel young again, I guess, to try to go back in time and be that person that they once were. Um,
Or what they missed out on.
or what they missed out on. Um, Now for some men it's control. And because they have insecurities, they feel more in control of a younger woman. And then unresolved past issues. So past issues that may have led them to have bad relationships or whatever the case may be. Particularly about the reliving their youth part and the insecurities and control. I think that those two are probably to me. I mean, and I've talked to younger. I mean, I have friends who date older men also, and it's like, yeah, he's always like, yeah, look at her, she bad. Look at my girl, she bad. And it's just like, okay, what else do you have to say?
Mhm.
And it's like, that's all he gonna say. Cause that's the value that you're adding to him. You're making him feel good about himself in rooms with other people when he goes out.
Yeah.
Like
He ain't bringing her to the fancy dinner for in-depth political conversation or her vast history or her motherly instincts. Nah,
no,
like we yeah,
right.
she a pretty face.
Right. So, it's like, all right, that's the ego boost. But to relive the youth part, I guess, and then I guess I'll just segue into the olden days. So back in the day, men used to date younger women because it was a perceived idea that these younger women had more reproductive value. So like they were going to help them to procreate and help them to continue on their legacy and their lineage, et cetera, et cetera. Whereas today, it's kind of the opposite because most of the time these older men have already had children, multiple children, and they're like, nah, I'm just at the point now where I'm trying to have fun. I want to live my life. You know what I'm saying? Whoop, whoop, bam. They're not thinking about having kids with you at 56, 57. They're not thinking about that. They don't want no more kids. They probably done got a vasectomy. And they're like, I'm just out here living. And it's like you deal with the younger girl, and of course she may have motives for dealing with this older man, like you said, on them yachts getting that bread. But also, like, if your goal and your desires are to have children, it's kind of like you're taking advantage of them because you're giving them, you know that you can never give them what they deserve or what they should be able to have access to at some point because you don't want that. Like,
Now we know this girl goal was never really for
not her,
Shannon to put a big black baby in
not
her.
her, not for real. But, let me say, but it could have been if she would have stuck around a few more years. If things would have played out, if he wouldn't have got to the point where he was getting on her nerves or whatever the case may be, she might have allowed him to knock her up and continue on that. Kind of like Elon Musk's and all his baby mamas. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like I don't, yeah, like yeah.
Which Fox News is utterly quiet about. We have a baby mama. Oh God, end of the world. Look at all these fatherless homes. Elon Musk making baby mamas out here like ain't nobody
He
business.
making baby mamas like he making Teslas, and it's wild. Ain't nobody saying nothing. But it is what it is, I guess. But because men nowadays are not, they don't have the desire to reproduce and they're not trying to carry on the lineage with these younger women, like, okay, so they're not doing it based on that. And then also, back in the day, an older man was thought of as having more wealth. So like if a girl and her family was down bad, they was poor, they see an older gentleman, he got a couple of cattles, and you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like he got a little bread, like you need to go be with him. I don't care if you don't like him and you're only 17. Go marry him. You know what I'm saying? So, but the goal is not marriage for most of these current day men. It's simply like, I'm having fun. I like to do this, whatever the case may be. So it's just like, can I feel sorry for him? No, I can't. I can't for a number of reasons. You pick this young, non-black girl from OnlyFans, and she done messed up your spot. She done blew up your spot, and it's unfortunate
Yeah.
because it's like, how many times do black men? Now I'm gonna go there. How many times do black men have to relive this story before they wake the fuck up and see that that's not where it's at?
Yeah, that's the truth. And Becky don't pay. It make you pay. It costs.
Yeah, like come
But
on, bro.
I mean, I don't know. I don't necessarily feel sorry for him either. I don't really have a stake in it. I'm not a Shannon Sharpe fanboy or nothing like that. And it seemed like he was just on some dumb shit. And it seemed like he's going to settle out anyway. I think that there's the negotiations for giving Shawty a little 10 million if she want to take
Yeah,
it, which she probably not. I would at least try to double it. Honestly, he already losing all his gigs, all his careers. It's like you the one that's looking as quiet as down.
right.
She's running it up.
Yeah,
Her OnlyFans
yeah.
numbers is peaking. But when you first hit up on the subject of the age gap, I did hit you with the do you want to go there? Because I don't know if you were familiar, we recently had another big conversation that was aired through our very own former First Lady, Michelle Obama, about a lovely, famous, older woman who explained that she's not married, and she actually enjoys the the pleasures of younger men. You know who I might be talking about?
I'm gonna guess and say that you're talking about Tracy Ellis Ross.
Bingo! Ding, 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 ding. Now, Tracy Ellis Ross out here, lovely lady, I'm sure. But Kevin Samuels called her out. Again, late Kevin Samuels, bless his soul. He said that men, unfortunately, will not be looking to marry Miss Tracy Ellis Ross, but they will have their fun with her. And it seems like she's now in a reign of space in life to where she's finding comfort in having these, romantic engagements with much younger men than her. So how do we feel about this? Because she ain't got no scandals. I mean, could a young dude even pull something like this?
First of all, let's just talk about. I'm sorry, but how all of these photos are eaten down, like that blazer is out of control. I love that.
The blazer is hard.
um, but not to sidetrack or get off topic. I feel the same way. I don't give a damn if she a woman. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, I I don't understand.
Really? Really?
No,
I feel like you're saying that.
no, I'm sorry, I had a pop up. So I really don't understand, and I'm gonna say it because of this. So I dated somebody who's younger than me, and he was like less than 10 years younger than me, and it was a hell no. Like, hell to the no, to the no, no, no. Like, I did not like him. He was annoying, irresponsible. Like, it was just a lot of stuff. And it's not to say that every young dude is like that, because I will not generalize people. But for the most part, in your 20s, you're learning life. You was just a teenager yesterday. So you're figuring life out. You're doing all type of crazy stuff. You're living, you're exploring, you're doing whatever. You're still developing and learning knowledge and gaining knowledge rather, because you haven't had enough life experiences to get you to make you be at the same level of someone who has. No, it's not interesting. Like, and for her, it's like, okay, what are you doing? What are you? I don't know the reason Kevin Samuel said that, because I don't know. Did he elaborate on why
Why what?
men will just
She
sleep
would
with her and not marry her?
um Yeah, I mean, I don't know the exact words to quote him, but I think it was in the general realm of the fact that she just doesn't really have qualities to be a wife at this point. Simply because, she's kind of, I hate to use streeters terminology, before the streets. She's out there. She likes, I mean, I think even her in her podcast, she was saying, with Michelle, she was saying she's had engagements with older men, and she's given them chances, but she doesn't find them to be good long term prospects. Which I have my reasons to believe that's cap. I think it's probably more so the other way around, maybe both, but I don't think it's just exclusively all these older dudes trying to wife her up, and she's just like, nah, you don't do it for me. Because and her reasons for wanting younger dudes was also kind of cringe. She was said like she likes the gender fluidity of younger men, and the open. She just like the kinky shit. Yeah, and that's, I think that's the most she can get out of a guy. Um, and even if a guy probably did, an older man more than likely in a range did express interest in having a more long term serious relationship, marriage, something like that. I don't think it's in her heart to want to be a submissive, cooperative wife. I think she is set in her ways of, the eternal boss babe kind of shaking and grooving free lifestyle.
Okay, so yeah, so let me. All right, so there are some women who have observed what a marriage consists of based on what they've observed. For some women, they see it as signing up for an eternity of being a domestic slave. For others, they see it as a partnership. And for some people, they just see it as, this is just what I'm supposed to do, so I'm just gonna do it. She may fall in that category of saying, I'm not gonna do this because I'm not gonna wait hand and foot for nobody. I've worked hard to get where where I am. No one has helped me. I have these things, these achievements, blah 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 blah.
And Mike, she's saying this on the podcast with the former first lady,
Yeah,
married to Barack
she's
Obama.
saying that, and that lets you know that she really don't give a damn. Like, it's either something mental, or she truly has come to terms with the fact that she does not want the traditional lifestyle of what society has said life should be. And this kind of piggybacks off of our last episode. Like more and more people are kind of saying, I don't want the traditional idea of what achieving or attaining happiness in life is supposed to be based on the guidelines of society. I don't want to get married and have that white picket fence. I like sitting on the couch, eating Cheetos and leaving the dust, and nobody can tell me nothing about it. I like to do what I want to do when I want to do it and not be questioned. You know what I'm saying? More and more people feel that way, unfortunately, because they don't see the value of the institution of marriage. They aren't building meaningful relationships with people. So how can I even get to the point of wanting to be with you forever when I don't even know how to be around you for 10 minutes? And people don't really see the value in the people that they are coming into contact with. Like, if you go into places and all you get hit up by is dusties or DL dudes that want to hang out with their homeboy every day and be under the covers together, like, why would you feel?
Now that ain't Tracy Ross's reality.
We don't know what her reality is, but I'm just saying, for her, maybe she is just that type. And you got to think about like her mom, the experience that she had. I think her mom went through a couple of divorces. I'm not sure. She didn't have a good layout for how to be or what that should be in terms of marriage. Um, so
But would you see it weird as her like pulling up to the cocktail party with a 23-year-old?
yeah, I'm gonna look at.
It wouldn't be a slay queen. It wouldn't be like a girl. You can still get them like that.
No, because that's not a flex. It's not a
I
flex. It's
agree.
not a flex to be able to pull somebody who don't know as much as you. It's not a flex to be able to pull somebody who's weaker than you, like, or mentally like not on the same level as you. That's not a flex. You look dumb. And the fact that people are celebrating that is weird to me. That's just like old girl getting pregnant by the young dude. Who got pregnant? Which one of these baby mamas? Drea got pregnant by the young dude and everybody was dragging her. It's like, not me, not by choice. That's not what I want to do. I mean, if you find love there, more power to you. But come on, shawty. We already know already women develop faster than men naturally. So you really need to be dating a man that's like about 10 years older than you to be on the same level. You done dated down 30 years for what? But you said, she into that stuff. It's sexual. It's if it's a meaningless encounter that's gonna help to fulfill your lustful desires, then I guess maybe it makes sense. But even to be attracted to somebody like that, it just like, ooh, I'm not looking at no, you know what I'm saying? I might be like, oh, he's handsome, he's cute. Oh, he cute. He gonna be cute when he get older. Okay, but I'm not like, ooh, I gotta have him. Like what?
But the difference, I think, in terms of the ages is like for her, just using Tracy's example. I'm trying to pick on you, Tracy, but you just happen to be in the same time frame. Um, for her, it's more of like a girl that's kind of corny. That's not really a flex. For Shannon Sharpe, I think a lot of people are seeing it more as like that's weird. Like it's like something's wrong. Like it's like a mental issue. Like it's like predatory. It's a lot more malicious for him to be with a you know barely legal teen versus her being with a or any woman really being with a barely legal teen.
It's weird to me. I don't. It's weird to me.
Not in the same way
No, it
though.
is. It is. Like, what can a 20-year I'm 36. She's older than me. I'm 36. I don't even want no dude that's 26. Like, what can you do? I'm not to discredit any of your achievements, young 26-year-old male, but I'm straight on you. Cause I know me at 26, I'm not finna mess with no 26-year-old. It's not interesting to me. I'm not out here on the prowl like, ooh yeah. Like, no. it's it's gross. And when I was talking to that younger dude, and you remember that? Like, what? Heck no. Are you stupid? What are you smoking? Something. Like, you really got to be going through something to do that to me. It's like, it's an identity thing. It's something's not right. But that's just me.
So what would you say is the youngest that Mr. Shannon Sharp should be entertaining? Not just in terms of a serious relationship, let's say. Let's say if we also would just include the, one-off fling, just sexual fun.
To be honest, like, I would say at his age, she don't need to be no less than 20 years younger than him. Because I mean, even then I'm like, what are y'all doing? If she in her 30s, she's at a reasonable enough age to be able to, you know what I'm saying, navigate for herself. You know what I'm saying? Like she's approaching the 40s. she can maneuver. She don't need to be dealing with you, but I say, okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, all right, whatever, girl. But anything less than that, come on, shawty. Like, nah.
So now, why do younger women seem to like older men?
Because there's this perceived or this like this preconceived notion that being with an older man is gonna automatically equate to more stability. Just out the gate. Like for me, for most people around me, like it's like, oh, he carries himself with a certain level of maturity. He got his shit together. You know, things that women naturally are looking for when they're looking for a provider and all those things. If you want like the traditional lifestyle, an older man, in theory, should be in position to have that resume of things that you're looking for. So
In position meaning the resources, wealth.
not necessarily just wealth of resources, but just like the all around what society says you should be at that age. Like you should have your shit together. You should have like your own place. You should have your own car. You should have a certain, your money, your, this, and that.
All that's money. The car is money.
I,
The place is
I
money.
mean, but if I'm a what
Oh,
I'm giving, I have those things. So what are you saying? At that age, and if you're 56 and you don't have those things, that's a problem.
yeah. And I don't think young girls are going after the 56-year-olds without those
Yeah.
things.
So yeah. So it's like, all right.
So it's not just the personal maturity and life experience. It's the money.
It's all of it. It is all of it. Like, I don't know what it is. If you have a mature older man, the experience is a little different. I guess they're a little more seasoned. They're a little depending on the man, because it ain't everybody, but for the most part, they're a little more laid back, like chill, relaxed, like I'm vibing, like, just kind of like shoot the breeze type stuff. It ain't really a whole lot of rah-rah over the top. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just more I don't know,
More
more
comfortable.
refined, I guess. That's what it should be. But it's not always that. And that's the issue. People go into these situations thinking it's gonna be like that. Like Shannon Sharpe got the money, but his personality and just looking at him, and I'm starting to understand a little bit more why he might not be able to have a woman of his age, because just the vibe he give off, it's kind of like, it's a little childish.
Now this comes recently. Didn't Shannon Sharp also just have another leak with that other ESPN commentator?
I know that I saw somewhere, I think, where a second person was coming out with some more allegations, but I don't know about.
It was like the leaked audio um when they were in the hotel room. Um
Oh,
I don't know if we ever got admitted that his Instagram was hacked by his followers. Attacked him and a woman having sexual activity. Yeah, I don't think we ever got word on who the woman was. It very well might have been this same girl.
oh,
But
mm,
oh man, I can't think of her name. Steele, no, it wasn't Sage Steele. I don't think it was Rachel Nicole. If I find her, I find her.
mm.
But yeah, with the ESPN taking over Disney, these sports dudes better calm down.
Please get it together, please, y'all, please. Like this. No, I can't talk. This is a disclaimer to men and women alike. Like, get yourselves out of your ego, okay? Take a step out of your ego and stop thinking, as my uncle would say, with your lower half, and get your shit together. Like, for real. Like, for a number of reasons, but definitely, like, for you to work so hard to get to where you are, don't jeopardize that over no lustful interactions. Like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it, like, at all. Please, please, just do yourselves a favor. Like, let it go. It's time to grow up. It's too much going on. But I'm not here to be anybody's judge. I'm just letting y'all know y'all can't keep taking L's for the same stuff. Please. But yeah.
Oh, this was Skip Bayless and Joy Taylor I'm thinking
Oh,
about.
okay, yeah, yeah. Mm. Yeah, they drug her. They was calling her like a pass around and all this carrying on.
Ooh,
Yeah, they was
I
like,
don't
they
know.
was, if I'm not mistaken, they was dragging her.
Yeah, the things we do for fame.
Mm. The things we do when we are lonely. um, Speaking of the things we do, so Another topic that has been floating around YouTube pretty heavy is the epidemic of hobosexuals. Now, I'm not saying homosexuals for those of you who say, "Oh yeah." No. I said
There's an epidemic of that one too.
I said hobosexuals. And hobosexuals are basically people who don't have a home, or have a bad living situation, or their situation's just not good. And they find a way to navigate into the home and the arms of someone who was doing good enough for them to have somewhere to stay, that's like a stable environment. So before the term hobosexuals was coined, it was a big thing for like tax season, and it would be like, oh, you know, you see a guy with a woman, and it'd be like maybe around January, February, March, you might see them in the stores together, and it's like they just don't look like they go together. Like, people can want what they want and whoever they want, but you're looking at them and it's like you got a Tammy from my 600-pound life, and like a scruffy Michael B. Jordan looking type dude, and it's like this don't. I'm just what's going on here.
Hmm.
Essentially hinting at the idea that this man was only with this woman because she had gotten her taxes and that he could come up off of her. Plenty of men do
Wanda and her Pookie.
it. Plenty of men do it. It's not a new thing. Women have also begun to fall into this category of homosexualism. And I'm just trying to understand, like, I've been seeing a lot of videos of men kind of like giving you a homosexual one-on-one, how to make her fall for you, or how to get her to open up to you so that you can move in type deal. Um, and it's kind of crazy to me because I've always been in a space where I wanted to have my own. Like I didn't ever want to be like, oh yeah, I gotta do what I gotta do so I can get up in his apartment and live with him. Like, do you know any homosexuals?
Yeah,
I was expecting you to say no.
yeah.
So like based on
You can put them on blast, but yeah, a couple of them.
so like based on your like knowing them, like what's the deal? Like why?
I don't know, survival. It's parasitism. It's like just how it go. I know one male homosexual and one female homosexual, and in both cases, I think it's for one, it all comes down to what's the word I want to look for? Not empowerment, but enablism.
Mhm.
So they're enabled to do this by the provider
Mhm.
in the relationship. Like ain't no homosexuals, no psychology that good to put no mind control on no motherfuckers. These people is like you said, lonely,
They
stressed,
they are lonely, and
and they need some compassion at any cost.
yeah.
And if that mean that they gotta buy some flip flops and some Lee jeans and put some macaroni on the table for this man or woman who ain't bringing nothing but they lower half to the operation, then they'll do that. And then, I think there's probably like a feeling of empowerment because the ball's always in their court, in the provider's court, because at any time, they can just say, "Hey, you be done. You cut off,
Mhm.
kick rocks."
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not something I ever understood. Um,
Yeah. It's not never finna be something that I understand because the moment that a dude, because I've had people to like test the waters and like kind of like, all right, let me see. The moment that you talking about some, yeah, we in this together, you know what I'm saying? We should start looking for places. I don't speak of no French. We like you got to go. I got a new number. I done moved to a new city. Like I don't even know I don't know who this man is. Who are you? Like, heck no. No. And the problem is people are allowing that like, yeah, we do need to do this together. You know this mofo for 3 weeks. What do you mean we? Like, get out of here. It's not that much loneliness. And if it is, like, y'all gotta really get into some therapy and really like love yourself. Like start figuring out things about yourself. Like you got to let them people go be where they gonna be at, man. I'm telling you. I done had it happen a few times, and I'm just sitting here like, huh, this, do you hear yourself? Like you can't be serious right now. Am I being punked? Like, no, it's I don't want to live with you. I don't even really like you like that. Like, nah.
Yeah,
But then there
you
are
know, people
those
got to
people.
find it.
They do find themselves in those situations. I saw one video and I was kind of taken aback because she was an older white lady and she was saying how like she had invited. First of all, let me stop right here. Stop letting me. Let me bring the mic close. Stop letting these folks come to your house. Stop letting people come to your place of residence when you do not know them. Okay? Men and women. Don't just let nobody up in your place. Like, stop doing that. Okay? Because in this situation, the lady, they had a date planned and it kind of fell through. And he's like, oh, well, I can just come to your house. And next thing you know, like he's in her house and she looked like go to the bathroom and he got his feet kicked up drinking her beers and it's like you need some more beer
Yeah,
and then she go do something
eating the kid Pop
she go
Tarts.
do something else in the house and she go up to her personal bathroom in her bedroom and he got his toothbrush and soap and stuff laid out like he done moved in less than 24 hours. Like no way. And don't let him get no piece of mail over there. Now he's a resident and you gotta fight to kick him out. Come on. Like no, I'm laughing but I'm
Yeah,
so serious. Y'all please stop.
yeah. Bones is quick to move in. There's also the other side of homosexuals I've seen too. Nobody that I know personally, but I've seen instances through, just third parties and TV and all that, YouTube, where you'll have this couple, usually a dude persuading a young lady who seems like she just has her life mostly together, probably a little bit messed up there to go along with it, but yeah, stable job, stable income, maybe educated and family situation okay, got her own car, and she'll be convinced to like follow this guy into like van life or into like living in a storage unit or hopping trains and just living this
Let me tell you.
degenerate bum lifestyle on the basis of like I love him.
But it's because and I actually said this the other day because once you click on one video, you get sucked into the algorithm and you just can't stop. So you click on one van life video or one tiny house video, and then all the next 75 hours is gonna be the same thing. So I'm looking and it's like this is a really nice van. Like y'all did this. Like y'all decked this van out. And you watch those videos of those because they're basically van life influencers because they got a house. They got a house. They're just doing this because they like
Yeah,
to travel and they like to spend their time on the road. They're not telling you that they got a 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom house that they go home to when
yeah.
at the end of the day. So now you done went and bought this Dodge Caravan
While you renting out the crib for
and
Airbnb,
they
Airbnb.
done gutted you done gutted it out and you living you ain't got no toilet or nothing. You washing up every day and you picking homelessness because you see this like van life aesthetic. Now I get it, like escaping the matrix and wanting to be, spend less money and be more resourceful and all that, but nah, shawty. No. If you're not gonna go buy you no RV, if you're not gonna get you a van that got a shower and a working toilet, don't talk to me about that because essentially you're choosing homelessness. You're going to go live in it. You're not doing this because you're preparing for the Walking Dead times. You're doing this because like you said, you following after somebody or whatever the case may be, and it's just like, come on, y'all, like we gotta really like wake up. Like, come on.
This is a trend though. I don't know why it is a trend, but a lot
It's a
of a
trend
lot of
because
people are choosing
it
homelessness.
looks
Like
it's cheap.
a lot of girls saying this is how I achieve my soft girl era.
Yeah, because she ain't got to pay that $3,000 rent she was paying downtown. She can do all the soft things, make her coffee.
But at what cost? At what cost?
Yeah, like yeah, she can get her nails done, her toes done. She don't have to do nothing. Like, but yeah, I mean, if that's the life you want to live, like I think it's cool to an extent, but also like I said, you have to be mindful that these people are telling you one thing, but they're living something different. Like these people have homes. I know this one lady. Was she makes videos about being homeless and living in her car, but she got a whole apartment. And it's like, come on, man, stop the cap because y'all are like uh sensationalizing something that no, it doesn't need to be.
That's how you get over on the finesse, man.
Yeah, I guess.
You need some food, put on that Fashion Nova dress, go to the hookah lounge.
Uh,
Give a couple winks and bat some eyelashes, and next thing you know, you got a lamb chop plate in front of you.
poor baby sheep. I know they tired. I know they tired. They tired. Just let them be. Let them stop selling lamb chops, please, restaurants. Let them go. Well, speaking of poor baby sheep, that has nothing to do with this next topic, but I do want to talk about briefly the Doge. Seems like I'm talking about them a lot, but I do want everyone who's watching to please visit the doge.gov website. There's a real government website. It is doge.gov. This is a Department of Government Efficiency, which is backed or run by Elon Musk. Essentially, if you go on there, it kind of resembles like a social media platform with a lot of, it looks like kind of like almost essentially like tweets or posts. Very simple to read, very simple to digest. And then you, of course, would have to take that information and go to other websites to validate or not validate, but kind of research things. But this site has a lot of information. I know you all know that things are happening and changing very quickly and abruptly, like from day to day, hour to hour. So this is a site where you can see a lot of the changes that are taking place. One that caught my eye over the course of the last few days were the changes that are taking place with the Social Security Administration. Now, if you guys don't know, you should know if you work and you get a paycheck and you see them deductions, your ass should know about the Social Security Administration. But basically, when you
Yeah.
get paid, that money coming out, you can't exempt it. Ain't nothing you can't fight it. It's coming out. So, um, a lot of our senior citizens, senior individuals in our lives rely on Social Security because they have the luxury because they worked and now they're claiming their Social Security benefits. Um, and also some people who claim these benefits would fall under like the category of being disabled or individuals who have disabilities or what have you. So something that has taken place recently is kind of like the Doge went through and they had like a sweep to take place to go and actually let me give you the exact verbiage. Excuse me. So essentially what was happening is they're trying to clean up some of the benefits that are being paid out. They want to reduce the benefits that are being paid out. And what they did is they went through and basically went into the system to take a look at all of the individuals who were deceased and living to see who was receiving benefits. And what happened is they went and kind of marked a whole bunch of people as being deceased and they're actually alive. So people weren't receiving their benefits because they were marked and labeled as being deceased, but they're actually still alive and thriving. So much that some individuals went up to like their local offices and said, "Hey, I didn't get my benefits for this reason, and I'm here. I'm alive. Like, here's my ID." So, very interesting, guys. Just like that's a random story, but just something as small as that, how it can impact your life and just kind of twist things around. Please go visit that site, the doge.gov, so that you can kind of see.
Is it Doge.gov?
No, Doge. DOG.
You saying the Doge?
It's I don't know why the but Doge.gov, DOGE.gov, and you'll see just like and I mean you'll spend hours just looking at how many back to back things are taking place.
Is it literally just the main thing on the website is just the Twitter
Is
feed?
it? That's what I said. I'm serious. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that shout out to T. Yes, this is what it looks like. So when I was saying it's very easy to read, it's literally like a social media platform, like the aesthetics, and you just look at this, and it's just gonna be like, good job for this agency for going in and cutting this funding, which totaled in $100 billion. Nice work. Like just very simple and kind of like what the crap, but
And somehow we still ain't went after Lockheed Martin. That was the first thing Elon said when he was getting there. Like, oh, maybe we don't need these fighter jet
mm,
programs. You see how quick that got shut
right,
down.
right. So yeah, definitely check that out. Um, and lastly, I want to talk about, which I'm so upset that T has not seen this because he's pissing me off, but I want to talk about the recent release of the movie Sinners. Ah, by
Empire.
it was definitely a great film. If you have not seen it, go check it out. I'm not going to give any spoilers. I want to wait till T sees it. But Definitely a great film. A couple of things that I want to talk about is just like the numbers that this film did. So people were talking junk. Like people gonna always talk junk. They talk junk all the time. But shout out to Ryan Coogler. Like definitely a phenomenal director. Like he has. If you're not familiar with Ryan Coogler, some of the more notable films that I know, Fruitvale Station, which I did not know he had. I didn't know he was behind that. That came out years ago. It's a story about Oscar Grant who was wrongfully killed. Uh,
Oh, so you worked with Michael B before?
Michael B. Jordan, yes, he did. Um, Black Panther. If you're familiar with Black Panther, anybody who's seen Black Panther, Ryan Coogler, and then more recently Creed, the Creed movie.
So is all his movies Michael B. Jordan movies? It's a duo
That
here.
yeah, that's what it's looking like. But I mean, it's like what they put out, they work together. That is hard. Like I mean, you
Yeah,
find that person, and it's like, all right, yeah, we're gonna work with them. Kind of like how Spike
yeah.
Lee was. He had his set group of actors and actresses that he worked with. So, um,
Mhm.
and then now Sinners and Sinners just in the first week grossed 48 million domestically and 63 million globally, and this is the biggest opening weekend for an original film since the pandemic. So shout out to this young black director who has done some pretty top tier things with this film that is just, I mean, you got to see it to understand. Like it's just very like groundbreaking. I want to just point out that like this is important for our community, our culture, because typically when people think of black film producers and they associate the name with the title, you're gonna think of like the what's his man name, Tyler Perry's. You're gonna think of like, you know, that's probably pretty much all that people associate us with, or like the Tubi movies, or like the low budget black cinema, and it's like, nah, take a step
Baby
back.
boy.
Yeah, like we got some heavy hitters out here, and I just appreciate his creativity and what he's doing and like the stories that he's telling. Like definitely somebody that is needed in this time, and I just hope that everybody continues to support him. And this movie is special because it just touches on so many different things, and you really got to pay attention because it's a lot. One scene that everybody's talking about, I'm not going to talk about it in depth, but it's just this one scene that just engulfs you and make you feel like you're in the movie. It's like crazy, like you just, I don't know. um,
Based in the Bayou, like Louisiana or something.
Mississippi,
Mississippi,
yeah, and
Biloxi.
it's not it's some another town in Mississippi, but yeah, definitely check it out. Definitely worth watching. It's a very interesting film. I loved it. I'm gonna go see it again in IMAX because I didn't see it in IMAX the first time. I just wanted to go see it, but definitely check out Sinners. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's it for Sinners. Definitely check it out. I'm waiting on T to see it because we need to talk about
Yeah, it's on the list. Probably during my weekly random off day. I'll
Yeah, go to a matinee or
I'll
something.
catch that one. I ain't on matinee yet.
Uh, oh, dang,
Not with these opening numbers.
matinees is I didn't know that counted.
Is matinee just the early morning movie,
Yeah,
or is that like the discount?
I think that you I think it's the same. It's the same. I think.
Just a movie that takes place in the daytime.
Yeah. Shoot, go see it on matinee. Go get you some coffee. Go start the day. I gotta give up coffee. Talk about coffee all the time. I want some coffee right now, but I need to go to bed. Gotta go to work tomorrow.
Y'all pray for her. She wants some nighttime coffee.
Please help me. Yeah, I gotta give up coffee. It's so good though. I just really love it. But anyway, yeah, man. So I know we talked about a lot. As always, we're gonna come to y'all with the hot topics. Make sure y'all like the video, share, subscribe, tell your friends about us, your family. Repost our videos. I'm working on social media, y'all. Y'all pray for me. It's hard. It's so hard. It's hard for me.
We gotta get the official appropriate page
Yeah,
going.
we're working on a page.
We start doing some independent postings there because I'm like I ain't my socials is basically non-existent. I follow a couple folks and peek in here and there, but
Yeah, Yeah,
But for the brand, we gonna do it for y'all. We gonna do it for y'all.
we working on it. Yeah, we gonna have we gonna y'all gonna have a page. We're gonna have a page for y'all. I'm gonna say by the next episode, not this one, but the next episode we post, we should have a page up. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, man. Till next time.
Stay solid.